Welcome to part 3 of your fantasy football pre-draft training series. In this video, I'm going to show you how to project quarterback passing yards using Panthers quarterback Cam Newton as an example. If you recall from our last video, the goal when projecting stats is to factor luck out of the equation as much as possible. Quarterback rate stats like yards per attempt or touchdowns per attempt typically regress toward each individual player's mean. To determine that mean, it's advisable to examine stats from the previous 3 seasons if possible. Using 3 seasons of data allows for a larger sample size of plays, minimizing the chance of an outlying season leading us in the wrong direction. To project passing yards, the only 2 numbers we need to accurately predict are attempts and yards per attempt. For some players, 3 years of data won't be available, such as in the case of rookies or second-year players. Other times, we can't use 3 years of data simply because it might not be representative of a player's current situation. If you're projecting yards for a quarterback who has recently traded, for example, his past yards per attempt is not as valuable as the same stat for a quarterback who has been in a similar situation for a few years. Cam Newton is an example of a quarterback without 3 years of stats, so we need to use those from his first 2 seasons in the league. Looking back at Newton's attempts and efficiency in his initial 2 years, we see he averaged 501 passes and 7.9 yards per attempt. Thus, the calculation for Newton's baseline 2013 passing yards is simple: 501 multiplied by 7.9. However, only rarely will our baseline projection be our final projection for a player. We need to refine our projections based on new information. In the case of Newton, he's a young, rising player that should take strides in his 3rd year in the league. He's unquestionably talented and has displayed a strong work ethic and willingness to improve. The question marks for Newton are that his top wide receiver is aging and he'll have a new offensive coordinator in Mike Shula, his quarterbacks coach in 2012. Despite the issues, there's probably good reason to expect Newton's passing efficiency to increase a bit in 2013. While Shula's play-calling strategy is an unknown, there's no reason to think Newton's passing attempts will change too much. While Smith's decline hurts Newton, it isn't detrimental to the same extent that Newton's own development will help the 3rd-year quarterback. He's at that tipping point in his career when many NFL quarterbacks start to produce bigger numbers. Going through this process, you can see how creating projections starts with an objective framework and then implements subjectivity. We use a player's past rate stats as baselines and then mold them based on any new information. If we notice that Newton converted an unusually high number of red zone passes into touchdowns over his first 2 years, for example, we would then alter our baseline touchdown projection to compensate for that. In the next video, I'm going to show you exactly how to project stats for running backs. Thank you for choosing FantasyKnuckleheads.com as your fantasy football training provider. If you have any questions, please visit our members forum.